So Invincible fought a lot of strong supervillains, and today we're going to have a look at the 10 of the strongest enemies of Invincible. So without wasting any time, let's start with Sequids. So Invincible went on a trip to Mars and accompanied a group of astronauts, including a man named Russ Livingston. When they reached Mars, they came across not one, but two alien races, Martians and Sequids. The Martians had enslaved the Sequids for thousands of years, which is a mindless race. But when they were freed, the Sequids posed a threat to the entire universe for the injustices done to them. In an effort to prevent the humans from being taken over by the Sequids, the Martian army plans to execute the astronauts. Running for their lives, the men quickly secure themselves in their shuttle and take off, while accidentally leaving Russ Livingston behind. Now fully controlled by the Sequids, Russ Livingston returns with the intentions of completely destroying Earth. What ensues is a battle across the world and space, as Invincible leads a team of heroes to stop the aliens without being controlled themselves. Sequids possess the ability to latch onto and fuse with a host and control them. Sequids possess a group mind, but they can only work together when they possess a host. And then their unified mind can allow them to become a real threat. Without a host, the Sequids are left scattered and weak, and are unable to do anything but attempt to find a host. Next, we have the Flaxins. Flaxins are a race of interdimensional beings that was set on conquering planet Earth and killing its humans. 3 times they tried to invade Earth through a portal and began killing numerous civilians. Each time they arrived, the Flaxins were defeated by Earth's superheroes, mainly Invincible and his team. The Flaxins apparently possess no natural powers of their own, but are equipped with a wide arsenal of technology and weapons. Because of their home dimension's faster temporal rate, a few minutes on Earth is years for them. This allowed them to have a great amount of time to study their foes and create powerful tools to use against them, though this also initially meant that they would age at a much faster rate whilst on Earth. But they eventually created new devices that helped them to stay alive while being on Earth. Invincible and other heroes battled the Flaxins several more times as they try to attack Earth to finally conquer it after spending hundreds of years in their dimension studying Omni-Man's costume and preparing to destroy him entirely. Due to their ability to grow as a race much quicker than humans, no one can ever know if or when they'll return to seek revenge again, or how strong their military will be if they do, and this makes the Flaxins a frightening threat. After them, we have the Mauler twins. They are not actually twins. Mauler is a mad scientist who always has a clone of himself around him as insurance and to help with his fringe science experiments. Upon creating a clone, the Mauler twins ensure that neither of them knows who's the clone and who's the original. According to them, it never ends well when a clone knows they are the clone, since it would likely lead to infighting and resentment toward the originals as the clone is considered to be inferior. Consequently, this could drive the clones to terminate the originals for its position. The Maulers have demonstrated profound levels of intelligence in several scientific fields and technological prowess. One of the Maulers' most important inventions is a device that can copy the entirety of someone's memory and transfer it inside their clones. After a new clone body has been completed, the currently living Mauler uses this device to copy the entirety of his mind and then places it inside the clone's brain. In doing so, the clone believes himself to be the original, while the original cannot differentiate himself from his creation. The Mauler twins are super strong, but they are not on the level of Invincible or any other supervillain. But unlike many other characters, the Mauler twins have vast knowledge of science, and with enough preparations and proper knowledge about their enemy, they can even take down superheroes and supervillains that are much stronger than them. Next we have Anissa. She's one of the most powerful female characters in Invincible, and initially she was also one of the most hated characters in Invincible. So Anissa was born on Viltrum and is thousands of years old. She was one of the many warriors that witnessed Thragg's rise to Grand Regent of the Viltrum Empire. While Mark Grayson and Debbie Grayson ate lunch, Anissa interrupted to get Mark's attention. She threatened to kill Mark's mother so that he would come with her. She met Mark in the sky, hoping to convince him to aid in the Viltrumite takeover. She apologized to him. She began her speech about how Viltrumites would turn Earth into a utopia for centuries and rid the planet of disease, war, and death. Mark refused and Anissa lost her patience. With a light warning filled with attacks, she reminded Mark that he didn't have a choice in this matter. She told Mark that he has no idea how much danger he was in. Later, she also managed to traumatize Mark for a very long period of time after raping him. After her, we have Angstorm Levi. So Angstorm Levi has the ability to travel into different dimensions using portals, and he used his portal creation powers to save an alternate version of himself in Times Square. While Robot and the Immortal are killed by an evil Invincible, he takes his alternate self to a dock while the Guardians of the Globe handle an alien invasion. He reveals to his alternate self that there are many other versions of him. Next, he freed the Mauler twins from their imprisonment and take the duo to his lab. He asked the two to build him a machine that will allow him to get the knowledge his alternate version home dimensions. They accept, but they say they need more equipment. After the Mauler twins complete the project, Angstorm places the mind transfer device on his head until Invincible arrives. Angstorm would use his powers to summon several Maulers from the other dimensions to keep Invincible from halting the process. He notices that the Maulers are attempting to kill Invincible, and he removes the device from his head. The result causes some Maulers to die and gave Angstorm a creased head and back. During this incident, Angstorm also lost some memory of the event. After this incident, he blamed everything on Invincible, and he did everything in his power to destroy Invincible's life. He kidnapped Invincible's family and trapped him in different dimensions, and the worst thing he did was when he called Invincible's evil versions from different dimensions to Earth in order to completely destroy Invincible, and he even succeeded in doing it. Next, after him, we have the alternate versions of Invincible from different dimensions. In various alternate dimensions, a version of Mark Grayson exists. The majority of the other Marks from different universes were absolutely evil, either because of being raised by their Viltrumite fathers to take over Earth, or merely out of a lust for power. His alternate versions are as strong as him, and they might be even stronger than him because they don't hold back from killing, like Invincible while fighting someone. Many of the alternate versions of Invincible became the rulers of their version of Earth as well as the Viltrum Empire. When they attacked Earth, all the superheroes gathered with Invincible in order to stop them, but in the end, they only managed to kill a very few of those alternate Invincibles. His evil versions turned out to be an unbeatable force, and I think if they were gathered in higher numbers in the main universe, they could have even defeated Thragg and all other remaining Viltrumites. Next we have Robot. He was a superhero and a member of the Guardians of the Globe, but he became a villain during the course of the Invincible series. Robot is first thought to be nothing more than a robot with advanced artificial intelligence who leads the teen team. As it turns out, Robot is a machine controlled by the mind of genius Rudy Connors. Rudy was physically unable to live outside of a specially built pod due to outside air burning his lungs, so he created Robot to live vicariously through. Later, he created a clone of himself with the blood of Rex Explode, and because of it, he exits outside his tube as a clone of Rexplode. He now wears a power suit and is friends with Invincible. Over the course of the series, he progressively becomes more deranged after many conflicts, leading to him becoming a villain and an extremist. This pushes him to the point of betraying Invincible and his teammates to become the ruler of Earth, and he killed every hero and villain that opposed his rule. Near the end of the series, he was successful in taking over Earth, and anyone who tried to protest was killed. He was so smart that he even found out a weakness in the Viltrumites' body, and he used it to threaten the Viltrumites into cooperating with him. He found different ways of dealing with his enemies, and he even killed a strong alternate version of Invincible with just a single bomb, which I guess proves that he is easily capable of killing Invincible if he wants to. After him, we have Conquest, and this old man is one of the most terrifying villains of Invincible, and he gave Invincible nightmares for a long period of time. So Conquest was born thousands of years ago in Viltrum, and being raised on the planet of cruel conquerors likely darkened his heart from a young age. Conquest fought in and survived the Viltrumite civil war, and he also fought for Viltrum in the Empire's expansion. He fought for the Viltrum Empire for thousands of years. Even after the Scourge virus decimated their population, he continued to single-handedly conquer planets. His actions were done not so much out of belief in the Viltrumite Empire's cause, but rather than out of pure sadism and bloodlust. He is one of the strongest characters in this series, and many believe that he is even stronger than Omni-Man. He was defeated by Invincible on 2 separate occasions, but both times it happened because Conquest took Invincible very lightly, and he took joy in toying with Invincible rather than seriously fighting him. He is similar to Battle Beast in that he fought out of bloodlust and a desire for the thrill of battle rather than loyalty to a cause. But he also differed from Battle Beast since Battle Beast possessed a great sense of honor and never fought people he knew had no chance against him, while Conquest, by contrast, slaughtered everyone he could, especially those far weaker than him, and tormented them as they died or mourned. Moving on, we have Battle Beast. I know, Battle Beast is particularly not a villain, but since he was introduced as a villain, I think he deserves to be in this list. On some planets, he is also known as the Scourge of Twin Galaxies, the Conqueror of 1,000 worlds, and just his name makes galactic empires tremble. So while Battle Beast certainly falls in the category of villain-turned-ally, his allegiance towards anyone serves mainly to benefit himself. See, Battle Beast is on a never-ending quest to find challenging opponents to fight, and when Machine Head recruits Battle Beast in order to defeat Invincible and Titan, Battle Beast's main reason for joining the team is to test out his fighting capabilities against the heroes of Earth. So, just as Machine Head uses him for personal gain, he likewise takes advantage of Machine Head as a means of satisfying his bloodlust. He was able to beat Invincible to a near-death state, and while doing so, he was not even completely serious. And not just Invincible, he can easily defeat Omni-Man as well. And if you guys read the comics, then you already know how strong he is and what he is capable of doing. So after him, on the top spot, we have the Grand Regent Thragg. So he is simply the strongest Viltrumite to ever exist, and he was born for this purpose. He is so strong that he defeated Invincible and Omni-Man more than once, and he ripped both of them in half with just his raw strength. Later, when he was exiled from the Viltrum Empire, he created an army of alien Viltrumite hybrids, and all of them were his children. He literally made thousands of children in just 5 years, and his army was so big that it overwhelmed Omni-Man's and Alan's combined forces. Basically, this guy is just built different. He's on a different level, and defeating him in a one-on-one fight is impossible for any character in Invincible. I will talk about him in a special video, but for now, we stop here. So yeah, that's all for this video, and thanks for watching.